If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're looking to start your PMP preparation. You have a lot of questions in your mind. So I'm here to start off, ease that out from your mind. My name is Kavita Sharma. Let's get started. So can you pass PMP in 21 days? Passing PMP is not just about memorizing, it's about mastering the right strategies. And that's very simple. I have had few people, I just wanted to show you a few things here. Amit has passed, congratulations. Saurabh just passed. He passed and he just commented on my LinkedIn post sometimes back, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. And he's like, I remember the concept of PMP till date. So this is so nice. He's able to apply the concepts. There are people writing to me from outside India, reading my book, watching my channel, and passing the exam. Bala also passed the PMP exam just watching the video. Srinath passed after the training, and there are a lot more. So who am I? My name is Kavita Sharma, and I've been a PMP coach from last 10 plus years, more years than you know. I have total 2 decades of experience. I don't want to explain more. Worked with Microsoft, Tech Mahindra, Satyam, Sapient, and so on. Started as a programmer, became an architect, technical manager, end-to-end manager, program manager, and then account manager, and now I'm being an entrepreneur. So wrote the books, and then I'm just focusing on AI as on today. My name is listed as significant contributor in PM Box 6 as well. I'm the author of Past PMP in 21 Days Study Guide, Practice Test, ITTOs, CAPM books, and so on. So that's about me. Let's get started. So why PMP matter? Because you're gonna get higher salary if you are a PMP. PMI does a lot of surveys and they publish a report. If you go to pmi.org, you're gonna see that PMP and their counterpart, PMP people earn at least 10 to 25% more than their counterparts. So that's the data. So if you want to earn higher, go for PMP. PMP is one of the benchmark now for manager's job. So if you want to go higher in your hierarchy, go for PMP. It could be any domain. So any real world project management, it could be pharmaceutical, construction, IT, go for PMP. And you're gonna get recognized in project management. PMP is that tool wherein everybody understand, appreciate that you've got a PMP certification credential in your resume. It is difficult to gain. Once you gain it, it's so easy to apply in day-to-day life. So go for PMP. It's gonna help you move job across countries. It's gonna help you get better negotiations while you do job interviews or while you do salary negotiation with your boss. It'll help you. So go for PMP. But what are different challenges with PMP? Now, if you're looking for PMP and you start searching for PMP, you're gonna get bombarded with so many resources. Some of them are genuine, but most of them are there to induce fear in you. And some of them are so old and they are talking about ITTOs. Some of them are talking about few things which you don't even know, which is not there in the PMP exam now. So it's going to confuse you a lot. There are so many websites available, so many people who are doing PMP without being authorized for it. You also, if you start searching for it, you gonna see PM box so complex you don't know where to begin. So I'm here to help you on that. So few of the common challenges I just wanted to list it down for you. It seems very complex. The moment you understand that concept, it becomes easier. So PMP is not complex. If you understand the basics blocks of it, it is easy. The other thing is, I keep on working as an executive, and me or you being there in the job, We are so bombarded with information. We are so restless. There are so many tasks which I need to perform. So, retaining the information or reading for 5 or 6 hours becomes very difficult for an executive. I understand that. We're gonna plan your program accordingly. Then it sometimes a lot of instructor generally give a lot of theoretical knowledge. But in the PMP exam, you're gonna get scenario-based questions, so it becomes difficult to solve that until unless you know how to solve those questions. And most of the people out there orient you towards memorization of ITTOs, memorization of techniques and stuff like that. It is a bad habit. Do not memorize. You don't have to waste your mind on that or your time on that. If you understand a concept, you're gonna use it, you're gonna apply it, you will be able to pass in the PMP exam. So don't worry about these challenges. If you do them, डर के आगे जीत है, आगे बढ़ो. So we designed the program accordingly. The design is based on a structured approach. What is the structured approach? There is a step-by-step PMP framework. The classes are designed in such a way that it covers the current domain as well as PMBOK 8, which is about to get published next year, most probably. So we have taken the concept from there as well. So it's very, very easy. There is a 21 days proven plan of people pass. Scenario-based learning, so you're gonna learn if somebody will explain you where to apply a technique. If I tell you what is the problem I faced in my project life, you would also analyze that problem. It's gonna stick in your mind. So the more example you gonna listen to, the more ways you can apply a particular technique or apply a particular solution, you will remember that. And then real world applications, there are use cases, breakout rooms. So you're gonna learn by doing things. And the session is focused on exam. At the end of the day, the result matters. So you're gonna pass the PMP exam. What is PMP exam? 180 questions in 230 minutes. So you have to solve questions. That's the end of it. So the training is designed with a lot of questions. You have to solve a lot of questions so that you get a confidence that you can understand those questions, you can bifurcate those questions, you can analyze or decompose that question and can come to the right answer. So that's how the entire content is designed. How is my training different than others? First, we use a lot of interactive elements in the class. You're gonna get into breakout rooms, you're gonna have discussions, we're gonna pick up example, we're gonna discuss the questions which you are not able to understand. So a lot of interaction. It's not like we have 100 people in the class and then you're not able to talk. It's a small study group, somewhere around 12 to 15 people, and we interact, we discuss questions. Proven track record of all the people pass the PMP exam. All my student, I have had student who have failed earlier, they came in my class and they passed. I have had one student who failed 3 times in the previous attempts. This guy came in the class and he passed. So people pass. If you go to PMI dashboard, PMI kind of have a dashboard of all the faculties, all the ATPs board, and generally the mean is here, the passing percentage. Mine is here, all my student pass. This is 0, this is 100%. So all my students pass except some exceptions. The classes are practical, there is no fluff. We use something called keywords. It is a way to understand and remember things. It is very, very simple to implement. Once you are in the class, I'm going to explain what that is. Most of my students came back and they said keywords help them. So we're going to focus on the pointed learning, no fluff learning. and it's thin and lean workshop. Why I say thin and lean? We are working in interactive Zoom kind of sessions. You cannot sit for 8 hours in a Zoom class, sorry to say, but I cannot have my student going through thinking through something else while I'm teaching. It does not happen. It does not help me, it does not help you. So a thin and lean workshop help you focus on the concept, help you focus on the concept, help you focus on the concept, and then you would have something called resting time, wherein all these concepts are there in your mind. You need some rest. These are complex concept. You need some resting time. Weekdays, let's say I'm talking about weekend class, then you get weekdays, 5 days, wherein your mind, the mind which is not active, which is working in the background, is processing and analyzing the information which you have got in the weekend class. So the classes are designed in such a way that you get the maximum learning by that. Let's look at few of the success stories. Saurabh passed on the eve of 2024, sent me this, and I feel very, very happy for all my students. So this made me my new year. Thank you, Saurabh, for sending me such a nice WhatsApp. Ritesh passed and he cleared the exam, said keywords were helpful. Um, Deepak Rai passed, I get a lot of emails, lot of WhatsApp, and I forget to publish them. So he passed the exam, all 80 above target. Shakir Ali wrote to me, I think over email, and he just passed using the books. Jennifer, I remember, she got my book and I received this big email. And when I read this email, I was like so happy. She passed by going through my study guide. That's it. And she passed the exam. So I'm very, very happy for all the people who reach out to me. Shrikant passed. Um, you know, Thank you, Shrikant, for writing back. Bhaskar just passed and wrote this big email to me, and he got about target, and he could not study and then had to study afterwards. So he read through my books and passed the exam. So people pass the PMP exam. Everybody pass. In case you follow the plan, you're gonna pass. So let's talk about the workshop. How do I handle the workshop? It's a three-step process. There is a course which you need to do before the class. I call this Bridge to PMP. So this is a course which is enabled for you the moment you register for a class. Then we meet in the class, which is the Zoom, in case we are doing online training, or in case we are meeting physically, then we meet in the class. So this is second phase, when we focus on understanding the concept. And the third phase is when we say bye bye, but I don't say bye bye, I remain in the background. But a person has to follow up on the device plan, and this focuses on evaluate and simulate the PMP exam. So let's talk about each of them. The first component is called Bridge to PMP. This is a course which is hosted on LMS. The moment you register for the class, you're going to get access to this. The focus of this particular course is orient you towards PMP. It will help you align your thinking pattern. It will help you align the way the class gonna get conducted, and it will help you to start at some knowledge level. By the time you're gonna reach in the class, all of you gonna be starting at least not from zero, at least from some level. Total hours required for this course is at least 10 hours. It has some modules, and then it has some exercise to write. It has baseline exam. So you would need at least 10 hours to finish this. The second step is to understand the concept. This is the classes which I do, can be physical or virtual. Here, you gonna get some work before and after the class. So you're gonna need to read before, and you need to do certain homework after the class as well. Within the class, the idea is we use this time, this interactive time, to maximum. So I would be speaking for something called some 15 to 20 minutes, and this time is called study capsule. So we study on certain concept. Okay, this study capsule gonna end with something called let's play. So whatever you have studied for 10 to 15, maybe 5 minutes, you're gonna apply this concept and see whether you got this or not in the form of a quiz. So you would use that, and you would, if you get the answers right, it's gonna build confidence. If you do not get the answer right, we're gonna discuss on that. You again gonna build confidence. Now that we have discussed the questions, you know that concept. So the idea is you apply knowledge so that the your internal self-confidence on the concept should be built. We're gonna use keywords to understand and answer those concept. We would also get into group case studies in the interactive session. The idea is that you all who are class participants should get into discussions on the concept, on the entire concept which we've been discussing in the class, and apply that and present that. You're gonna make mistakes, but your mind gonna work. You would be discussing those technical words with your colleagues, and understand, if I have passed my PMP exam, you have not. So you have to do a lot of work so that you pass your PMP exam. So the idea is you do work, you apply knowledge, you discuss with your teammates, you come up with the questions that I could not understand this, so that I can help you, one step towards passing the PMP exam. So that's how we conduct classes. Typically, a classroom would have study capsules, let's play, study capsule, let's play, some one or two group exercises, and then it's going to end with homework and pre-read for tomorrow. Next day when we meet, you can ask me questions, because this homework would have PMP type of questions. You're going to do that at home. In case you're not able to get them right, mark them, and then come in the class and ask me those questions. We're going to discuss that. Everybody would know what are the keywords which we're looking at, how should we apply the concept so that we get the concept right, so that we pass in the PMP exam. The third step is, towards the end, as I told you, we stop at the test prep kit. This is the third online course which you're gonna get. In this test prep kit, you gonna have day-wise plan. Now, it may happen that you registered for the workshop, you've gone through Bridge to PMP. We had workshop all 3 weekends or weekdays, and then there is a wedding which came, or then there is some P1 at your office. There are some problem. You got sucked into that, and then there is some time. So how is your mind working? Your mind has some finite working space. While you were in the workshop, this working space was, the concept of the workshop were there in your mind. When you got into wedding or some P1 chaos of your office, all of that came here and all the concept vanished, because it was in the short-term memory. Now, to remember these concepts for a longer term, what we need to do is we need to apply again a scientific way to ensure that these concepts are there in your longer term memory. What do I need to do that? How do I do it? I need to recall back those concepts. For every day, the day-wise plan is made using those scientific practices and is proven. So here you're gonna read one topic or module, and then you're gonna get evaluated on that topic. So you would reading gonna do what? Short term memory to longer term memory. You're gonna recall that concept, it's gonna go into your longer term memory here. When you recall, gonna go in long term memory. When you evaluate, you would get to know, do I recalled it right or not? Some questions were correct, some questions were not. So you're gonna evaluate and then get your understanding right. So the focus is on evaluation of knowledge here. You need to work on longer term memory, retention in the long term memory. The last few days in the 21 days plan is full length exam. Okay, these are full length exam. Why? Because you need to simulate as well. I've seen a lot of people, they fail in the PMP exam because they could not finish the exam. They could not complete all 180 questions. How many questions are there? 180 questions. How much time do you need to do it in? 230 minutes. So, essentially speaking, one question, 1 minute, and then you have some time for revision. So you need to do that. You need to simulate your mind to sit for 230 minutes to do one question in 1 minute. It's very difficult as an adult mind. I know I was a PMP. When I was preparing for PMP, I used to get very, very bad questions on the net. So when I actually sat for the exam, I saw one question. It was very good question. I gave the answer. And I was like, why do I get such bad question on the internet? This question is really nice and complete. Then I looked at next question and I was thinking about, my mind was there with that first scenario. Second question, I like that question also, very nice scenario. Third question, now my mind is there in the second scenario. You need to switch on and switch off. Then I realize I'm not there to appreciate PMP exam. I am here to pass the exam. So you should be able to read the scenario, switch off your mind, go to next scenario, read that, switch off, answer that, switch off, switch on, and so on. So you need to simulate the PMP exam. This time or this phase would need 2 to 4 hours of your time for 21 days or 3 weeks. If you can take out this much of time, you will pass exam in 21 days or within 3 weeks or within a month. Some of you who are able to do it, I have had people who have passed PMP. I myself passed PMP exam in 21 days. I have students who have passed in 21 days. There are people, generally it takes somewhere around 30 to 40 days for people to attempt the exam and pass. Let's talk about the class, PMP weekend class. I'm going to just take the example of the class structure. How are the classes going to look like? So this is a typical weekend class. It's divided into 3 weeks. Each week it's 3 to 4 hours of duration. Day 1, because you have done bridge to PMP, we're gonna start off with kickoff or orientation and gonna move into understanding scope and understanding the principles which we have discussed in the bridge to PMP. The second day is focused on agile methodology. A lot of you who are part of my class may be agile coaches or maybe agile, maybe working on agile projects, but some of you are from predictive methodology, construction, pharmaceutical, and so on. Plus, people who are doing agile project also do not know PMI's ways of agile, the keywords, the roles, the do's and don'ts. So we focus one day only on agile methodology. The idea is, before we move on to anything else, you should be able to understand how agile way of working or a agile way of thinking works vis-a-vis predictive, because agile is change based, wherein predictive is we gonna minimize changes, so that we can apply that when we plan our project accordingly. Day 3, okay, before we meet on day 3, you would have the whole weekdays with you. These weekdays, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you gonna be working on homework, pre-reads, and you would need some resting time for your mind to work and understand concept. The week goes by. On day third and day fourth, Saturday and Sunday, we're gonna focus on cost, schedule, and other project performance areas. We're gonna end the project performance with governance. This is PMBOK 8 new area called governance domain. We would also discuss business involvement, the strategy, how projects are aligned to the overall vision on in the week 2. By the end of week 2, I'm gonna give you access of how to file PMP application, the videos and templates and so on. The idea is that you would utilize this resting weeks or days of the week to file your PMP application and do your homework. And before we meet again, we're gonna meet on third week, so in case you have any questions, we should be able to discuss that. Day week third gonna be focused majority on people management. How do we work with stakeholders? How do we work and communicate with them? How do I manage my team? What is EQ? And then we end with 21 days plan. This plan would be a counterpart in the test prep kit. So you would have a tool in your hand to apply your 21 days plan. So how do you become PMP? The first thing is attend a workshop. Attend any workshop. You can attend a workshop with any ATP, whoever you feel comfortable with. The moment you're gonna attend or enroll for a workshop, the ATP, if you attend from a non-ATP, then it's not sure that you're gonna get the right courseware. You're gonna get right access to material, plus your application may undergo an audit. So go with an ATP approved workshop. Go with the instructor whom you like and feel comfortable with. So attend or enroll for a PMP workshop. This PMP workshop gonna help you understand the topic and gonna give you 35 PDUs. Now this is required to file your PMP application. File the PMP application. Maximum time it's gonna take to and fro from PMI backend to you for approval, questions and so on. Maximum 7 days. So within 7 days your application gonna be in approved status. And the moment you're gonna pay for this application, let's say you have paid on 3rd March 2025, your application is valid till 2nd March 2026, 1 year. So keep your application in the valid state. You have 1 year to prepare. Okay, so file your PMP application the moment you attend the workshop, so that at least that one thing is not in your long-term to-dos. Just go ahead and get done with it. So now you have your application valid. Validity is for 1 year. You have paid for your application. Now what you need to do? You need to start preparing. The moment you attend a workshop, you need to prepare using 21 days plan or any other test prep kit. So you need to test yourself, do simulations, and do a lot of simulation on a good simulation simulator. New questions, not those questions which ask you ITTOs. Okay, don't use that. What is ITTO? Input, tools and technique and output. Don't go for those kind of. Don't go for PMP exam which says reference PMBOK number chapter XYZ, because they are looking at PMBOK old versions of PMBOKs. Do not go with those questions. Go with the right simulator, ATP approved or PMI approved. Once you start getting 80% and above, then only you are ready for your exam. The exam is online. You can schedule it as and when you want it. You can schedule it at home or Pearson or Prometric View Center. PMI currently works or collaborated with Pearson View Center. So go to pmi.org where your application is under approved status, and then click on schedule your application. Schedule it to go to a center or home as you desire. I would prefer to say go to a center. I have my reasons, but whatever you prefer, and then schedule your exam. Once you schedule your exam, go relax, sit for the exam. On the day of the exam, pass the PMP exam. It is very, very easy. You are all set. You can pass the PMP exam. That's how easy it is. You just have to take the next step, which is attending a workshop. So what next? You check for your PMP eligibility. Are you eligible or not? I have a video on PMP eligibility. Check that. And if you are eligible, enroll for the PMP workshop. You can pass PMP in 21 days like me. Thank you. In case you have any question, you can write to help@kavitasharma.net. In case you want to enroll for a workshop, look for options at kavitasharma.net website. I hope this video was helpful. In case you have more questions, write to me at the email address which I have given. In case you have anything else, you can respond or comment on the YouTube video. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day. Bye-bye.